Hi YouTube, Public Piper here, and tonight I'm going to talk about the 3 things I've really come to appreciate about the pipe presenter community here on YouTube. And those 3 things, they all have to do with diversity. I'm going to spend about a minute talking about each one, but just to give you a quick overview, the first one is the diversity of people, the diversity of presenters. The second one is the diversity of channels, or the diversity of the channel focus. And the third one is the overall humbleness of presenters, which has really come to amaze me over time. At the end of this video, I'm going to go ahead and tack on some additional footage, some additional segments that I never actually thought were worthy of publishing by themselves. So I'm going to tack them on as kind of like bonus footage. But the main topic for today are the 3 things I really like about the community and really come to appreciate about the community. So number 1 was the diversity of people. Well, I could go on forever talking about the different dimensions of diversity, but the things that have really struck me the most when I'm watching all your videos out there are, number 1, the diversity of how long you've been in this hobby. You have presenters out there that have been in for 6 weeks, and you have presenters out there that have been in for 20 years. And the thing I think is really cool is that they all have something to add. Just because someone's just entered the hobby doesn't mean they don't have something valuable to share or a story to tell that other people want to hear and other people want to listen to and possibly identify with. The one thing I found really encouraging is, I thought I was interested in seeing new people enter the community, and I'm new myself. I've been on for like 10 weeks. But I'm seeing other videos by veterans out there that are even more excited about seeing new presenters. And although I'm not a member of other communities as much as I am this one, that's really surprising in a really good way. And that kind of gave me a good feeling when I saw that. So I thought that was really a really cool aspect of this community. The second aspect of diversity in terms of presenters was age. And I think anyone who's watching this video, which means you've watched other videos, you would probably identify with the same thing. There's guys out there that are 18 picking up their first corn cob from Walgreens down the street. And there's guys in their 60s and 70s that have huge collections and just have a lot of knowledge to share. And some of my favorite presenters are 30 years older than me, and some are 15 years younger than I am. And this community kind of cuts across age barriers to where it's not only a non-issue, but we don't even really think about it. It's all about personality. It's all about the story you have to tell. And it's all about identifying with someone that touches on a topic that you really care about. And that's really cool as well. The second level of diversity, that was number 1, diversity of people. The second one was the diversity of channel focus. And this is one that becomes very quickly obvious to anyone who's in the community. You have those channels out there, or those presenters, that are, I guess what I would call vloggers, that make a video every day or every other day, really talking about their daily life and walking you through their daily life. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you have those people who you can almost tell they're really saving up a video for a well-crafted, scripted, almost like a mini movie, because they really want to have a really tight, concise message. And the cool thing about it is that there's room for both of those. And I think the people who do the vlogging kind of appreciate the people who can put the time in to do like a very concentrated segment, but at the same time, the people who do the concentrated segment wish they had the freedom or the courage or what have you to do the vlogging. And so that cross-pollination between the two, I think is very interesting. It's not just cool, it's just it's very interesting. And then maybe there's a third segment that tries to focus on entertainment. And I'm somewhere in between. I try to focus on entertainment and also topical. I'll probably never be a vlogger But if you ask me, some of my favorite channels, it's a mixture between topic focused, because I like that deep review or deep concentration on a particular topic. But at the same time, there's a couple channels out there that I love watching the daily happenings of people's lives. Not that I could do it, but I do appreciate that other people can do it. And so there's room for everyone. And then the third aspect of diversity, although this is not really diversity, was the overall humbleness of pipe presenters. And again, you probably noticed this as well if you watch enough pipe videos. But many presenters are very forthcoming, kind of leaning in to a certain extent, and admitting how much they don't know. Very rarely will you ever see a pipe presenter talk about how much they do know. They're usually very admitted about how unknowledgeable they are about a particular topic. And I think that's very interesting. Pipe smoking is just a hobby. It's not our life's mission, but it's an interesting enough hobby to where it's not like running or jogging or some other hobby you do on the weekends. You're a little more connected to it. It's never going to be in your top 3 life goals, but it's important enough to where you feel like making a video about it. And again, that's pretty cool. You're always trying to find where this hobby is going to take you. It doesn't really matter where it takes you, because it is just a hobby, but you don't know where it's going to take you, but you're along for the ride, and that's pretty cool too. So those are the 3 things I really enjoy about the community. I enjoyed pipe smoking by itself, even before I found this community, but since I have, it just kind of added an extra dimension to it. So that's what I have to say for tonight, and now I'm going to show you the bonus footage that I hope you have a good laugh at, because it really wasn't meant for publication. So I'll see you next time.
So my goal in this experiment was to expand my Cornell and Deal's Burley Flake number 2. Cornell and Deal's These tobaccos are a true pleasure. Like a childhood friend, they are always there for you when you need them. Very reliable and very giving. They don't ask for much in return, and never will. These are not a challenge, and they never aspired to be a challenge. Now these are a very different story. When I got into this hobby, looking for a challenge was actually the furthest thing from my mind. But somewhere along the way, things changed. In making videos, I soon discovered that I had more to say about the blends that I didn't understand than the ones that I did. And it was then that I discovered a passion I didn't know I had. I discovered a deep intellectual curiosity for blends that bemused me. The ones that played hardball. Not the bad blends, but the misunderstood blends. I made an assumption, for right or wrong, right from the beginning, that it was my job to understand them and not the other way around. When I ran across challenging tobaccos, the question I had was not what is this blend, but who is this blend? You see, every blend has a personality, and like every person deserves respect, so too does every blend, except Captain Black. And the pivotal moment that this all happened to me was when I ran into my ultimate opponent, someone who would become my ultimate foe, Burley Flake number 2. Our fateful meeting occurred approximately 520 days after I picked up my first real pipe in May of 2013. We met casually, spent summers in Rangoon, In the winters, we made meat helmets. But things quickly turned dark. She became austere and reclusive. You see, number 2 was in no hurry to avail herself to me. She didn't care what I thought of her, and like a pretty girl on prom night, she knew that she was the prize and I was the pursuer. Because our first few run-ins were highly volatile, I decided to take her on vacation with me to try to tame her down. But during that vacation, we kept fighting with each other. But I stuck with her. Because there's something to be said for perseverance. Even if you can't make a certain blend play ball, make it your ally. Even then, meeting your foe head on and trying to see his or her side, who he or she is at their core, well, you're going to learn something. You're going to grow. This is the beginning of a long-term relationship with this blend, and I'm not giving up. It's just icing on the cake that there are other people out there who can identify. Thank you.